Good morning and welcome to Sports Desk Live on Comcast Channel 26, also streamed on Facebook. I'm your host, Ed Nunez, along with our host, Ali Niawani. Our very special guest is Grant's head baseball coach, Michael Furbee. The Pirates beating Artesia on Saturday for the 4A baseball championship 5-3. The Pirates' first baseball championship ever. And Coach, welcome to the show.
Man, I appreciate you having me. Enjoy it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll tell you one thing, Coach. I was out there. I told you I was on the PA for that game, and that game had it all, man. Artesia more known for football than they are, and give them credit, right? They made the championship, and they're known even in basketball. They've made some state runs in basketball, but Artesia making the state game. I think they won 8 of their last 12, or to get to the championship in the semis.
Yeah.
You had to get by the defending champion St. Pius Sardins, I believe.
That was
Academy. You
Yes,
beat
sir.
Academy 6-5. I believe you won 17 of your last 18.
Yes.
17. The only loss was to Berlin.
Right.
Man, that's impressive. And beating Academy 6-5 in 9 innings, and Academy's had a very good program for many years. Tell us a little bit about the championship code. Again, congratulations. It's an honor, when you hoist the blue trophy, especially for you had your whole town out there. You had really a lot of support out there. Tell us a little bit about the game on Saturday.
So, going into the game, we realized Artesia, records at that point don't mean anything. We look at strength of schedule. We see they played a tough schedule, and I understand that Artesia, those kids they're different. They're City of Champions for a reason. So, and knowing that those guys, a lot of them are football players that play baseball, they're tough-minded, and we knew going in it was going to be a challenge. And so we just went in, and I talked to the guys about not letting them bully us. I mean, it got a little rough early, a couple hard tags and a couple things going on early that I had to reset our guys and let them know that, hey, just lock in and do what we do.
One of the hard tags. Okay, I remember what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was early. It was our little 8th grader. He's our 9-hitter. He's an 8th grader, and he's in there. I got him in the game, and big old 6'4", 6'5" first baseman put a tag right in his chest. And so I think they were trying to make a statement, and we just had to look through that and not let them push us around like that.
But I'm going to say this, though, when I saw that, and I've been around athletic contests, a bunch of them, right? And I'm like, that's a little out of bounds. I thought it was, the tag itself. Yeah, your 8th grader survived that. Your team survived.
No, we're fine with it. I wasn't making a complaint about it at the time.
Right.
It's part of the game.
Right.
You just they're going to test us, and that's part of what we got to step up to.
But I got to say this, that after he made the tag, he's kind of going like, to the fans. But the momentum kind of switched to Grants after that, I thought.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, no, yeah, that was after that. We came in the dugout before they went back out. That was the statement to them was don't let them bully us. And they're bigger physically, but in baseball, it's not an issue. Now, we're on the football field. It might have been a problem, but for baseball, it is a little different. So,
you talk a little bit about that. You're winning the 17 of 18 to end the season. Now, you start out the season losing twice to Volcano Vista, and
Yes.
they've got a good program. You lost 12-11, then 16-6, and then 2 losses in a row to Goddard and then Piedra Vista, and actually 3 losses in a row. You lost 3 to Goddard, to Piedra Vista, and a team out of Utah, I believe, Utah,
yes, sir.
Utah 6-2. After that, there's not many losses after that.
Well,
the only loss you had after that was to Berlin, 10-6. Talk a little bit about when you lose 3 in a row like that, and it happens. What was the mindset of the team and you as a coach and talking to your players?
So early in the season, we got 3 of our guys that are basketball players, a couple that weren't out yet. They'd just been out 1 week. So we were still had our lineup wasn't set. We still had guys, only practicing for a week after they got out of basketball. I had a guy that had just finished the night before and traveled to Goddard. So early in the season, we're just kind of figuring things out. We're juggling lineups. I'm trying to see who's going to be where because we're trying to replace some seniors from last year. So we weren't too worried about it early. We knew we just needed to be ready by district play. So to me, it wasn't an issue.
You know what? And ready you were because as I mentioned, the only loss after that was to Berlin, 10-6, and I think you put a 27 piece on Gallup, 27-0. So you definitely scored a lot of runs. Your offense was definitely in tune. And then in district, you the only loss you had was to Berlin. You beat a very good Pius team. You lost to Berlin and then beat Farmington, Portales again, and then Bernalillo, which has had a very good team this year.
Yeah, they were,
then, yeah,
and they're young, so they're not going away.
yeah. And then talk a little bit about that academy game, which was 6-5 to get to the championship. You know, that's it's a tie game. And it goes into extras. You beat them in 9 innings. Talk a little bit about Academy's had a fine program for many years now, many years. Talk a little bit
they've had our
about
number
that game
for a while.
Yeah,
So that game was last year. They actually knocked us out. So for us, it was like an opportunity for us to pay them back. And we usually have them on our regular season schedule. This year we did not because of time constrictions. We couldn't find a spot to get them in. They couldn't find an area for us either. So going in, we knew who they were. And being that it was day 2 of that 3-day set, their one win on Thursday. So we knew that we kind of escaped their one, Delaney, who kind of controlled us last year a little bit. So, and I tell our guys, a lot of it's luck. When you go into these tournaments, it's not just skill set. It's where you seed, who you face, and then it just all falls into place sometimes. So we knew they were going to be tough. And so regardless of who's on the mound, so the mindset was to go in and just get a W, right? We're not at this point worrying about how we get it, just get it. And so the 9 innings, though, I mean, we got a little scary because we were limited on pitching. We had already thrown our 2 guys. Barella was maxed out with that game, and then prior to that, Nico Young had pitched his limit. So Manzanares was our guy for Saturday, and we had to go to him. So we went to him, and we were trying to keep the pitch count to a limit just so that we knew that when he started on Saturday that we'd start from that spot. But he ended up throwing 33 pitches. We ended the game, and so the way it ended, Dominic Gonzalez coming around third. I was waiting. About halfway to third, I was sending him. And then when he hit third, I was stopping him because the ball was already coming in. And I had put the stop sign on. I'm screaming and yelling at him to get back. And he was determined. He put his head down and he just kept going. I mean, he would have been out, but the glove came off. Ball fell out. So, I mean, the way it ended, I trust my players. He's one of them guys that plays travel ball. He's all year. So, he kind of had a feeling that he could get there, so I'm okay with that. Whether he was out or safe, I'd have been good with it.
We talked about that because Artesia has 2 runners on in the top of the 7th, I believe. Nobody out.
Yeah, 0. Yeah.
Okay, Nia Estrada pops up. I think he popped up to your catcher.
Catcher, yes.
1 out, and then we talked about this in the box, and I don't know if there's a miss sign or not. They run, they try to steal third. You gun them out, and 2 outs. And so what started out as a promising inning for the Bulldogs, all of a sudden nobody out, and all of a sudden you got 2 outs and no runners moved. You got a guy thrown out. Guy popped up to the catcher. Talk a little bit about that sequence because upstairs we're like, hey, they're did you think they might bunt? Because we thought, hey, maybe some small ball here. I mean, these are all things. No disrespect, but these are all things that you think about later. 5-3. 2 runners on, nobody out. But your third baseman was playing even with the bat. Did you think that they might play some small ball there?
We thought so early in the game. They had bunted twice, and we didn't execute on our end. We had a bad throw to first, a little bit offline, and the runner ran into the first baseman, and then we had a ball back to the pitcher, and he went to second, and he overthrew the second baseman. So I remember it was 2 times they put balls down, and we didn't execute. So I don't know why. Thought for sure it was coming again just to see if we could execute it. So, and we work on it. So I mean, if I was hoping they'd put one down, we'd get the out, but they didn't. The pop up to the catcher. I mean, our guy Diego behind the plate, he's junior, and that's early in the year we had missed a couple of those. But man, since he caught 2 in the Portales game like that, and he caught that one was huge. That was Estrada up the bat, I believe. So I mean, if he doesn't get to that, I mean, it was right there, but I mean. That's a tough play for a catcher. It's hard to work on those plays, and you just hope that when they happen, they can make the play. So he was able to make that play, which was huge. And then to throw out the third, I was kind of did us a favor, I thought. I mean, I wouldn't have tried to steal third in that situation. I mean, you're in scoring position on second, but not to second guess anybody's choice. I don't know what the situation was, but it did help. I mean, it was huge. But on the other side, I mean, he makes a bad throw. And
right. Yeah,
or if it gets down into the left field corner, now things are happening. So, I mean, it may be a chance you take. I don't know.
But just a lot of things, right? You mentioned the academy game. You're stopping your guy, and he scores. It's the breaks of the game, right? And sometimes they break for you, and sometimes they don't. You saw that last year. You said academy eliminated you. But I got to say, upstairs, I'm not I watch baseball, so I can't. We're just wondering. These are questions, but we thought maybe the runner might have missed the sign, or maybe he has the green light to steal. We weren't sure.
Right.
But I wanted to ask you this real quick too. People may not know this. You were also the softball coach for the girls and won championships in 2004, 2005, and 2003 straight championships. And you started with the Grants baseball program in 2022. What was it that made you, softball to baseball is, it's a whole different game. It really is. You started a travel squad too. What was it that made you want to go coach baseball?
Well, like I said, me and you talking off air a little bit earlier. I'm a baseball guy, so I grew up raised playing baseball in Hawaii. Softball job was available. They needed somebody. The program was only in its third year in existence, so I took that over in 2000. And once that was done, I had my first son was born, my only son, and so once he was 5, we started a club team, the Knuckleheads. So that's kind of where that started, with the intentions of getting them guys into high school and then transitioning into high school baseball. So that's kind of where that started. I ended up about 2017, I believe, actually getting on with it as an assistant with the baseball team. So that's kind of how that transition took place.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's quite a transition. And again, we're having success as a championship softball coach. It's no small deal there. Winning 3 in a row, you know how hard it is to win 1. You had some breaks go, your way, and you won your.
A lot of it's luck. Luck plays a big part. So.
No, it is. But you know what? Hey, man.
There's a lot of skill that goes into it. But
right. We'll talk about Bodie Malonis' catch here in the next segment, because that catch there was amazing, and I love the celebration afterward. And your fans, they really came out. Coach, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about some of the players on your roster and the batting and pitching. And after these messages on the sports desk.
All right, sounds good.
A short break, coach. It doesn't break. Cash cuts it. That one. It popped up towards left field. And that one is gone. J.J. Utash. J.J. Utash says, we're not done.
Schrader's definitely got the pitcher's attention at second. Want to limit that lead for him there. That's hit right back up the box where it came from. It's through. The windmill's on. Here comes Schrader in to score the tying run. It's an RBI single for the big designated hitter, Jose Martinez.
There goes Madrid in lane 4. He's got Gomez in lane 3 right behind him. And check out lane 8. Here goes Jaron Johnson from Dulce. Down goes Madrid on the final hurdle. We're going to have to go to the tape. It looks like Johnson.
Here comes a 3-2 pitch from Tatum Widener. Got him! Strikeout number 8 of the day for Widener, and it ends the home half of the 6th. It's 8-3 Eagle.
Come down to the final leg. It's Tatum in lane 3. Keep an eye on lane 7 and Loving pulling ahead. And it looks like Loving.
Line shot. Dives. Can't make the play. In comes Camphis to score the go-ahead run. It's a 2-run double for the hottest Eagle bat in the lineup, Hoffman.
Not a good exchange there for Logan. They dropped the baton. That's your favorite there. Now, let's watch Oak Grove in lane 4. Them and Legacy running side by side, lanes 4 and 5. Legacy in lane 5, Oak Grove in lane 4. It's Legacy pulling ahead over the last 100 meters. And Legacy Academy, your state champions.
Isaac Martinez at the plate, .356 batting average for Los Lunas. Rips that one towards the second baseman. Catch is made. The throw to first base. They get J.J. Utash, so it's a double play for Volcano Vista.
This one should be a battle here. Lanes 3, 4, 5, 6, according to our sheet here, and it is. Oh, that is too close to call.
Ooh, nice cut for Massey. And that is going to be the third home run of the day for Volcano Vista. It's a 2-run bomb for the catcher Noah Massey. And that makes the score 10-0 here in the bottom of the fourth.
A burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Comcast Channel 26 also streamed on Facebook. A very special guest, Grant's head baseball coach, Michael Furbee. His Pirates won their first baseball championship, 5-3 win over Artesia on Saturday to hoist their first blue trophy. And, you know, Coach, anytime you do that, it was a championship Saturday all through the stadium. And, I mean, all Oak Grove winning, La Cueva winning, you beating Artesia. Just a lot of great baseball, played, and a great weather day, during the La Cueva Cleveland game. One of those sandstorms came up for about that just, blanketed the field for about a minute and then went away. But just a great atmosphere out there at Santa Ana Star Field, I thought.
It was. We traveled strong, and we had probably 3/4 of those stands were ours, and that little 25% of it over there was Artesia's. Our kids. I mean, we have a lot of people that from Grants originally that are living in Albuquerque, so a lot of those fans were in Albuquerque at this time. But the travel for our fan base was enormous.
It's kind of funny with Artesia; they're more known for football. You mentioned that, but even when you're playing Artesia, even in any sport, it's like they still have that swag about them, right? They still have that the winning mentality.
We're just, and like I tell our guys, we're in the past, we're grants, just grants. Oh, it's just grants. So our goal was to eliminate that just from our name and let them know that we knew who Artesia was. And I guess the girls were playing next door on the other field, the Artesia girls. So they had people there.
There's some great footage of by our producer Alden Niawani on Saturday of your. I don't know if you can see it or not, but some great footage there. There's a. Can you see a runner tagging right there? Oh man! And then throw to second. So there's the lady standing up right behind there. That's one of your fans.
Right?
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna be able to. Oh, there it is. There's the fun. There's the winning catch by Bodie Malonis in center field, and you look at your players, and you know what? I'm still getting good. Look at that. Look at the celebration, Coach. Tell us a little bit about that. You know what, Coach? I think Bodie will have something to talk about for a very long time. Do you remember when we won our first championship, and he made the game-winning catch, and there's the trophy presentation or the hoisting the blue trophy. Talk to us a little bit about the situation. It's 5-3. You got 2 on. And Bodie makes a great catch in center field. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Right, I believe it was third and first at the time when the phone
first and third.
Yeah. So I mean, the outs to lead up to that, the Diego catching that pop behind the plate was a huge job with Estrada at the bat, and then the throw out to third when they were trying to steal third when they had first and second. So I mean, with the 2 outs there, but the play off the bat, honestly, Bodie gets to everything, and so he tends to run balls down. We see it all the time in practice. So off the bat, I was like, all right, he's got this. I didn't even have a chance to think that, oh man, if he's going to die for it or if he gets by him, what's going to happen? My mindset was that it's off the bat, it's headed his way, and he's going to get to it. And so it started to sink, and then I seen him coming up, and I asked him about it, and he said, well, initially he thought, I'm just going to play it safe. And then he said, screw it, I'm just going to go ahead and go for it, right? And so I'm hoping that our left fielder is doing his job and at least getting behind him, and he was moving that way. So, yeah, that catch, there's no telling, if he doesn't get it, if he just gets a glove on it, knocks it down, or it actually gets by him, gets all the way to the wall, is huge. And he's fearless. He's one of our basketball leaders, and he is I call him a dog. So he's out there, and he's not scared of the moment. So
Lance made a state basketball run, I believe, too. They made a tournament run.
Yeah, he's their captain.
So that's your center fielder supposed to be your leader, right? Your best outfielder, and he's certainly. Let's talk a little bit about your roster: Daniel Garcia, Bodie Malonis, Chris Chambers, Dominic Gonzalez, Esteban Varela, Carmen McDougal, Diego Lopez, Cody Malonis, Ethan Taylor, Nico Young, Noah Lundstrom, Isaiah Manzanares, Derek Rhodes, Zeth Villasana, and Evan Taylor. Talk a little bit about, you got some great batting averages here. Dominic Gonzalez is at 494, Esteban Varela 456, Carmen McDougal 295, Ethan Taylor 293, Nico Young 333, Derek Rhodes, Seth Navy, he didn't get a lot of at-bats, but 417. Talk a little bit about your team batting, fielding, pitching. Talk a little bit about that.
So yeah, in our batting, we pride ourselves that 1 through 9 at any point in the lineup can do damage, or at least get the guys that need to do damage the opportunity to do that. So we work a lot at it. I mean, we have machine work. We crank the machine up to 90, 85, 90, and we do a lot of tee work, a lot of split cage work. We do on the field work, live work. So I mean, we hit, and we have our days where it's an offensive day, defensive day. And when we're on the offensive day, they've taken 400 or 500 cuts. So I believe that plays a big part in their success. And then having our approach, I teach approach. And for me, the mechanics and how you get to the ball, I mean, everybody's going to be different. But for us, it's approach, trying to teach them to understand your count and what you're looking for in certain counts, to be patient, to be okay with hitting with 2 strikes. If you're 0-0, you're not swinging at curveballs. You're not swinging at balls at the knees away on the black. So we're trying to get them to understand, to simplify the process, because it is a tough thing to do. And so they can have that mindset and go into the box with a plan, I think it works out better for them.
Yeah, you definitely want to have every team has their own played approach. And I think the other thing here is I'm looking at your roster. Carmen McDougal is a senior. Isaiah Manzanares is a senior. Other than that, you've got everybody coming back. You've got an 8th grader in Daniel Garcia, a freshman, and Derek Rhodes. So those are some big losses with Manzanares and McDougal, but you've got everybody else coming back. You have to feel pretty good about the program that you're building there and winning the championship. And it's no guarantee that you'll win it next year, but you should be right in the thick of things with this roster right here. You got to feel pretty good about that.
Absolutely, and that's my mindset. And everybody's like, "Well, you're going to win it again." Well, we're going to be in the mix. And like I said, a lot of things have to fall your way. The season has to play out. You never know with injuries or things that you can't control, but the stuff we can control, we should be in the mix and be back having an opportunity to win it again. We have another 8th grader, Evan Taylor, who's going to pitch a little bit early in the year, and he's got 3 wins. And we try to put him in spots where they're going to be successful early. And so and I talked to Evan about it. I said, now your time's coming, so we need you to be here in the off season. Weight room, the stuff we do in the weight room is big during the summer. And so these guys seem to be committed. Hopefully this winning the whole thing will get them even more excited about where we're at and what we want to do in this off season.
Talk a little bit about the maturity of an 8th grader, because we've seen 8th graders play even football now. Varsity football, varsity basketball used to be thought of back in the day. They weren't ready. They weren't mature enough. They weren't strong enough. But you've got this young man. He's on your roster. And talk a little bit about it, because you got him at pitch and first base. He's got to be able to get the ball with the plate. He's got to have some movement, some velocity. Talk a little bit about him, because the 8th graders, to me, I'm still amazed that we're seeing a lot more of them now. Things have changed body-wise, strength and conditioning-wise. Talk to us a little bit about him.
Yeah, some of it is, in my mind, is that these kids are starting to specialize earlier in sports, and so they're getting better, and the skill set is a little bit earlier. That travel ball, the amount of games they're playing, it just feel like they're ready. I mean, I don't know how football works, but physically there's no contact in baseball, so these kids that are younger are able to get in there and kind of do their thing. And we didn't put him in a spot where he's going to be a second baseman next year. Probably that's the goal for him, is to be on the field now, not because he just kind of DH down the stretch for us. And his mindset is, I don't know if it's because he's young or because of the work he's put in, but nothing fazed him. I mean, we couldn't see any change in his emotions. Sometimes I'd ask him, I didn't think he even cared a little. I asked him, I'd ask him, are you having fun? Are you hating this, or what's going on? Because I can't get a read on you. So, he was loving it. You've seen him smile a few times during this last 3 games. And so I knew that he was ready for the moment.
Everybody has their own different approach as far as emotions, but as an 8th grader, if he's out there and dealing with everything he's got to, because sometimes varsity players, juniors and seniors can be kind of, hey, he's an 8th grader. He used to be, hey, he's a freshman, but he's an 8th grader. So, he has to be able to fit in and then with the team. And it sounds like he's done a great job of that. It sounds like he's coach. You got some goals for next year, which is what's your goals over the summer as far as what you're going to work on over the summer to make sure, next year they're ready. And they should be in the thick of it with this roster here and your coaching staff, which is very good as well. What's your goals for this summer to work on to make sure, you hit the field running next spring?
So for the summer, after a 31 game season, we don't do a lot of on the field activities. It's strictly weight room. So for the next 2 months, it'll be, and we'll give them a few weeks off, and then we'll start probably mid-June. And it'll just be weight room. It'll be strength conditioning stuff, speed stuff, power stuff. And then we'll start to try to transition into fall ball. We're heavy in fall ball. So some of our guys are club guys, and they will do stuff all summer. So there's about 4 of them. But for the rest of them, it'll just be weight room.
Grant's head baseball coach, Mike Furbee, winning their first championship in Grant's baseball championship, beating Artesia 5-3 on Saturday for the 4A championship. We sure appreciate you being our guest today on the Sports Desk.
I appreciate you having me, man. It was fun.
You bet. For producer Alden Iwani, I'm Ed Nunez. We'll see you next week on the Sports Desk.